Made it back to Blue Bayou in New Orleans Square just in time to get checked in for my dinner reservation. Gonna grab dinner at Blue Bayou. I'm gonna give you guys a look around. Finally got seated at the table at Blue Bayou. They're really crowded in here tonight. They're limiting everyone to 2 drinks so that you're not sitting in here too long and holding up tables. But I'm going to try to get a few things, show you guys around, show you some things on the menu. And it is absolutely beautiful sitting in here watching Pirates of the Caribbean boats go by. You're part of the ride, and you can kind of see it right here beside me. And yeah, we'll see what this adventure has in store. It's been a long day. I'm gonna treat myself to the signature cocktail at Blue Bayou, which is the Hurricane. What else would it be with a Pirates of the Caribbean ride? Here we go. It's really good, and there is a lot of liquor in here, a bunch of different kinds of liquor, and you can't taste it, and that's dangerous. In a good way. For my entree, well, before my entree, I've got the scallop appetizer. Scallops are one of my favorite seafood dishes, and the appetizer looks really good, the jumbo sea scallop. All right. So cut. These are definitely jumbo sea scallops, so we're gonna cut it in, get a little bit of everything with it, and give it a try. Now, I'm a scallop snob, so I'm gonna be honest. They're pretty good. They're lightly done, which is how you want them. You don't want them overcooked and dried out. They're a little bit fishy, and you can kind of smell them. They're a little bit fishy, but they are very good. Don't know if I would get them again if I was choosing, but they are pretty good. Gonna give them a B minus. B minus. For my entree, I'm doing the jerk seasoned pork shank, which comes with a corn succotash with Gruyere cheese and peppered mashed potatoes. Heard great things about it. People on the way out were talking about how good it was, so I'm going to give that a try. Also on the table, we're going to have the mushroom ragu pasta. We're going to try a little bit of this and a little bit of that and bring you guys along with me on the adventure here at Blue Bayou. Having a look at the ride as we sit here waiting on dinner. And I don't know if you guys can see the little lights that are supposed to be fireflies or lightning bugs. We called them lightning bugs growing up. But there's a cool story about those. When this ride was first finished, Walt felt like it was missing something. So he had his Imagineers ride through the ride, and they couldn't come up with anything that they thought was missing. So he had a young cast member at the time who was from the South ride through, and he immediately told Walt what was missing. And what was missing in the swamp area, in the bayou, was lightning bugs. And so Walt jumped right on it, and in a day or so, boom, the lightning bugs are in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride in the Bayou section. And it just is one of those things that adds that great detail that I think sets Disney apart from other theme parks. And it's another great touch from Walt. So the food has just arrived, and look at that pork shank. It's very fancy, looks good. Try to cut that.
I don't know.
All right. Here we go. I wasn't expecting how fresh tasting it tastes. And what I mean by that is some of the herbs and spices on it really don't pick up a lot of the jerk seasoning, but there's a lot of cilantro, fresh crispness to it, and It's really good. The meat is really well done. And yeah, I'm gonna dig in and try everything else. So I'm throwing in the towel there. I definitely ate everything, but in an honest review, the pork shank is only maybe 3 ounces of meat with a little bit of mashed potatoes, so it's very fancy. And at the price point, I think it's $46, and I can't really recommend that. There's a lot of other things that you could get for that amount of money. However, the mushroom ragu pasta is worth every penny, and I think it was like $28 for that dish. Much better value, much better tasting, much more food for your money if you're coming in very hungry. The meat was good, the food was good, just not enough of it, not done exactly the right way for that price point. It's supposed to be jerk season, and it really just came out crispy on top with no real seasoning taste. You could taste it just a little bit on the front end on my first bite, but once you got that out of the way, you really couldn't taste it anymore. Most of the flavors came from the succotash and the mojo sauce on the bottom of the plate. So that's where we are, but we've had a lot of great food here at Disneyland, and I'm sure we're gonna have a lot more before we leave. So we're all checked in at Goofy's Kitchen. We already got a picture made with Goofy. There's a lot of energy in here. It's really fun. There's a lot of people. Looking forward to just getting in there now and seeing what's on the menu, seeing what's on the buffet, and having a fun dinner with Goofy and his pals.
Let's check out the eat.
So as you can see, we got a little bit of everything to try everything out. We got sesame chicken, pasta carbonara, some mini nacho tacos, of course the sirloin, the tandoori chicken, the andouille sausage, some popcorn shrimp, and several different salads. The salads all look so fresh and good. Several different salads, just to try a little bit of everything. So being a buffet, it's hard to just load up on one thing. You want to try everything. By the time you try a couple bites of everything, you're full. So I'm going to try a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then circle back to my favorites and let you guys know what those are, and maybe go back for a little bit more of those before we hit the dessert. So I'm going to go in for my first bite of this salad, which is really just marinated roasted red peppers, artichokes, fresh mozzarella cheese, and olives. And you guys can see that. It looks so good, so fresh. I just had to get some, and we'll give it a try. Here we go. It is super fresh, super good. Everything is marinated really well. It's not soggy. It's exactly what you would want. It's just really fresh and light to start out a meal that's probably going to be heavy overall. Oh well. All right, so we're going to try this carbonara and dive into it. Get a good bite there. Yeah, that's really good. A lot of flavor. Still a little bit of crunch to the cheese. Really taste the bacon. It's just really, really good all the way around. And jump around and try a bite of the mini nacho tacos. Really good. It's something that's on the kids bar that, you know, anybody could eat it. It just tastes like your basic good nachos. Hard to go wrong. Hard to beat nachos. For the sirloin, it looks like it's cut, cooked about like I want it. Maybe a little more done. It's about medium rare to medium, which is how I like it. Got a couple little pieces here. I'm just gonna dive. I'm gonna just take a bite out of it.
Fun at Goofy's Kitchen. So let's add in some smiles.
That's the barbarian way to do it. Just dive right in and take a bite. I told you this place was high energy. Right in the middle of me eating into my sirloin like a savage, the party broke out. Here we go. Let's get back to it. If we can get back to what I was saying, the sirloin is really good. It's got a nice herb crust on it that is really flavorful. You don't need steak sauce on it, which is a big compliment. That's probably the best compliment you can give to any piece of steak, is that you don't need steak sauce. For dessert, it's sort of the same thing. I'm going to try a little bit of everything. I'm not going to eat all this. My stomach would be not thanking me if I did that. But we got some carrot cake, some tiramisu cake. I really like tiramisu, so I'm hoping it's good. And some ambrosia, which is something I don't normally go for, but it does look pretty good. And a salted caramel chocolate brownie. So dig in. Start with a bite of the carrot cake. It's really good. It's a little spicier than I like my carrot cake. I don't like quite so much allspice in it. The icing on it's really good, and I'm big on icing, so it's got that going for it. Tiramisu cake. I don't know, we'll give it a try. It was the last piece up there, so it could be a little dry. Pretty good, pretty chocolatey. A little strong on the liqueur, the coffee liqueur taste, but pretty good. And for being the last piece up there, it isn't dry, it's moist. So, you know, it's good. This is literally the biggest dessert bar I've ever seen up there. So if you don't like these, there's going to be something up there you do like. Now, for the last thing I'm going to try right now is ambrosia. And in full disclosure, I haven't had ambrosia in probably 20 years. I just never get it. But it looked really good, so I'm going to try a bite. I do love marshmallow, so it's got that going for it. Try to get a bite with all the pieces in here. It's pretty good, but it has fruit in it, and I'm not a big fruit with dessert person. So if you like fruit with your dessert, it's good for you. If not, maybe pass on that.